God bless you. Children's Ministry is Titi Sandy again. So that means that when you see my video, it's Wednesday and it's your Bible study. So we're gonna go back to Joshua and we're gonna continue talking about the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verses 1 through 18. Which means that you've done your homework and you're able to read the story. And those who weren't able to read means that mom and dad read the story with you. So, I don't want to take a lot of time, but I do want to talk about Joshua and the story. There were several verses in the Bible that I really liked, which was verses 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And I'm going to read this for you guys, just in case if you didn't do your homework. So I got my Bible here. And Titi Sandy's blind. So, it says here, verse 5 through 9. No one will be able to stand against you as long as you lived. That's a promise from God, not only to Joshua, for everyone who believe in Jesus Christ. I will be with you, just as I was with Moses, and I will not leave you or forsake you. Forsake you means he won't forget about you. Verse 6, be strong and courageous, for you will be distribute the land I swore to their fathers to give as inheritance. Above all, be strong and very courageous to carefully observe the whole instructions my servant Moses commanded you. Do not turn from it to the right or left, so that you will have success whenever you go. So we just read 7 and 8. And this is God speaking to Joshua and telling Joshua, I promised Moses that I was gonna give the people of Israel a promised land. And guess what happened? Well, we talk about that a little bit. The people of Israel were like, not so great. A lot of stuff going on. They were savages. Yeah. And they were disobedient. So a trip that should have been maybe 11 days to get to their promised land took 40 years. And, God is telling Joshua that he swore Moses and the ancestors, meaning like the people who were there with Moses and their children's, that they were gonna step on the promised land, that they were gonna be there, they were gonna enter the promised land, because it was an inheritance, something that they it was given to them. And well, God gave Joshua specific instructions, the same instructions that he gave Moses. And he gave Joshua a command, meaning it was like a must, like there's no turning back, like this is what you're supposed to be doing. Okay? And told him that you could not, when I tell you something, you go straight forward. You don't look to the right, you don't look to the left. Because then you're already falling from what you're supposed to be doing. So you got to be very, very obedient. So you got to pay attention, listen to the instructions, and so he can follow, so Joshua can follow the instructions that God gave him. Then verse 8 says, "This book of instruction must not be departed from your mouth. You are to recite it day and night so that you may carefully observe everything written in it. For then you will prosper and succeed in wherever you go, or whatever you do. Haven't I commanded you to be strong and courageous? Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." So, guess what is the book that they're talking about? The Bible. This is the book of commands. This is what tell us what to do, what not to do. This is our guidance. So we have to learn it so like that we can know what we're going to talk about, what we're going to say, when we're going to say it, and how we're going to say it. And we have to follow it too, because it doesn't mean that you're just not going to be like, oh yeah, this is what the Bible said, but you're not doing it. So yeah, these were some instructions that Joshua got from the Lord. And then Joshua had to prepare people to help him out to take the Israelites to this land, because he was just not going to be like, oh, let's just pick up and go. Doesn't work like that, people. So he had to prepare people, and God said, when he talks about from verses 10 to 18, this is where Joshua is working in getting people ready. And then they went through the camp where they were at, and they were positioning people, and they were giving instructions to people, and they were teaching people to cross where they were going to go, which was the Jordan, which was the river Jordan. And they were going to take possession of the land. So the Israelites were getting ready. Joshua was getting ready. Joshua he was given responsibilities that belong to Moses. But Moses died, like we said, on Sunday, remember? And then Joshua decided to take the lead and decided to get everybody ready to cross and through the Jordan River and bring the people Israelites to the promised land. The promised land, if you guys keep thinking about it, because you're like, Titi Sandy, I don't know what the promised land means. It's a land. It's a place that belonged to the Israelites, a place where they were going to be okay, that they were able to live fine, and they would be safe there. But in order for them to get there, they will have to go through a little journey, let's just say, and they were getting ready for that. So then there's some other verses that I really like when I was reading the story, because Titi Sandy read the story too, And then there was this verse 16 through the 19. So it says, they answered Joshua, everything you have commanded us, we will do. So I guess Joshua was being a good leader, because the Israelites were like, whatever you say, we'll do it. That's really good. Everything you have commanded us, we will do. And everything where you send us, we will go. So whatever Joshua said, they were going to do. We will obey you just as we obeyed Moses in everything, and may the Lord your God be with you as he was with Moses. That's really powerful, because that means that Joshua, when Joshua was chosen, I'm pretty sure Joshua has probably a bunch of, things going on in his head, and he's like, oh Lord, you talking about Joshua, you talking about Moses? What about if they don't like me? What about if I don't do the same job as Moses? What about if I don't do as good as Moses? What about if I failed? What about if I can't learn the job? What about if I don't treat them the way Moses did? What about if I don't know them? What about if they don't know me? So I'm pretty sure, Joshua had many things going on in his head. But, according to what we're reading, it seems that he was doing a good job, because everyone was telling him, wherever you go, wherever you tell us to go, wherever you tell us to do, we will do it. And not only that, they blessed Joshua. They blessed Joshua as the same way they blessed Moses. So that means that they believed in Joshua. That's like a lot of stress on his shoulder. But he did a good job. So far, so good. And it says here, verse 18, anyone who rebels against